There's a massive difference between an older man who turns heads and one who makes women instantly lose interest. You've seen both. There's the silver fox at the bar, calm, composed, radiating confidence without saying a word. He doesn't chase the spotlight, yet somehow it chases him. And then there's the other guy, trying way too hard to look cool, throwing around slang he doesn't understand, dressing like he's desperately clinging to a time that's past. This isn't about looks. It never really is. It's about your energy, your self-awareness, your presence. And younger women can spot the difference instantly. So if you've ever had a younger woman show interest, only to ghost you just as quickly, you're likely falling into one of these 7 habits without even realizing it. Let's break them down. Habit number 1. Pretending to be young instead of owning your age. Nothing repels a younger woman faster than an older man trying to cosplay as someone half his age. Wearing sneakers meant for high schoolers, quoting TikTok trends, using slang like no cap when you have no idea what it even means. Here's the truth. You're not 25 anymore, and that's your advantage. You bring what younger guys can't: emotional maturity, direction, stability, and that grounded presence that says, I know exactly who I am. But the second you try to act like one of them, you lose everything that sets you apart. Picture it. A man in his late 40s walks into a bar wearing a backwards hat and a hoodie that costs more than rent. He starts talking about TikTok trends and flexing his latest sneakers. Does that scream attractive? Or does it scream out of touch? There's a reason men like Sean Connery were stealing scenes in their 60s. They weren't pretending to be younger. They owned their age with class. So here's the move. Stop chasing trends. Start mastering timeless presence. Drop the forced slang. Elevate your style. Speak with calm authority. And above all, be the man younger men are trying to become, not the one trying to compete with them. Habit number 2. Acting like a warden instead of a partner. Here's a harsh truth. The tighter you try to grip something, the faster it slips through your fingers. And nowhere is that more obvious than in dating. Younger women don't have a problem dating older men. What they do reject is being treated like property. It usually starts subtly. Let me know when you get there. Who are you going out with? That's what you're wearing. But then it snowballs. Why didn't you answer right away? I don't trust your friends. I don't want you around other guys. And just like that, the spark you once had, gone. Because what you're calling care, she sees as control. By your 40s or 50s, you've likely been burned. You've loved and lost. You've felt the sting of betrayal. But instead of healing, too many men try to micromanage every detail of the next relationship, thinking that control will protect them. It won't. Control doesn't build trust. It destroys it. A woman doesn't want a god. She wants a man who trusts her and trusts himself. Habit number 3. Flashing your wallet like it's your only value. Let's be real. Money matters. It signals capability, success, and stability. But the second you lead with it, the attraction dies. There's a difference between being financially secure, and using your bank account as a crutch. Here's what it looks like when it goes wrong. You sit down on a date. Within minutes, you're talking about your car, your Rolex, your connections. You think you're impressing her, but she's already checked out. Why? Because real confidence doesn't need to be announced. It walks in the room with you. It shows up in how you speak, how you move, how you carry yourself. When you lead with money, you're telling her, this is all I think I'm worth. And that's not sexy. That's insecure. Habit number 4. Turning complaints about women into your personality. Nothing kills attraction faster than bitterness. You know the type. Always ranting about how modern women are entitled. How social media ruined dating. How things were better back in the day. Here's what she hears when you talk like that. I feel like I've lost my edge. I haven't moved on from my past. I'm unwilling to grow. It doesn't sound experienced. It sounds stuck. And stuck isn't sexy. Younger women don't want a man who's angry at the world. They want someone who's adapted to it and still thrives. Habit number 5. Dressing like you checked out of life. You could have charm, success, and depth, but if you show up looking like you've given up on yourself, she's not sticking around to find out what's underneath. Too many older men fall into this trap. They tell themselves, I'm too old to care how I look, or if she really likes me, it won't matter. Let's be clear. It matters. You don't have to dress like a 25-year-old influencer. In fact, you shouldn't. But you do need to dress like a man who respects himself. Look at guys like George Clooney or Idris Elba. They are not following trends. They are setting the standard for timeless masculinity. And that's what women notice. Not labels, but presence. Habit number 6. Treating her like a child instead of a partner. This one sneaks in without warning. You think you're just being helpful, sharing wisdom, guiding her. But to her, it feels patronizing. She's telling you something she's excited about, and you respond with, "Oh, that's cute." Or "You'll understand better one day." Or "I've known about that forever." Instant spark killer. She doesn't want a professor. She wants a partner. You don't need to hold back your experience. But how you share it makes all the difference. Do you use your knowledge to connect or to correct? One creates intimacy. The other creates distance. Habit number 7. Acting like you have all the answers. Experience is valuable. But the moment it turns into arrogance, you lose her. She doesn't need someone to teach her how the world really works. She needs someone who listens, respects her perspective, and sees her as an equal. Confidence is attractive. Condescension is not. If she's sharing a new hobby or idea, lean in. Celebrate her spark. Encourage her. Be curious. Because nothing is more magnetic than a man who knows a lot but still listens more than he speaks. Here's the bottom line. You don't need to be in your 20s to be magnetic. But you do need to show up like a man who respects himself. A man who owns his age instead of hiding from it. A man who gives her space to shine. Not someone who dims her light. A man who listens, evolves, and stays grounded in who he is. Do that, and it doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, or 60. She'll see the man, not the number. If this hit home for you, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let me know which of these habits you've seen, and which one you're ready to break. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay strong, and above all, stay in control.